Hey, I'm Allison with Flick Direct, and I am here with Eitan Armon and Elena Neuman to talk about looking up. Hello, how are you both?
Hi, Allison. We're really excited.
Yeah, great to be here.
Let's start with you, Eitan. Tell me about this experience for you being the subject of a film.
It's been a journey. I certainly don't like to talk about myself a lot, so this was a bit out of left field for me and for us in a lot of ways, but Elena was an amazing partner, and we're hoping to raise awareness about low vision or people who are hard of sight and what we can and cannot do.
And tell me a little bit about your journey to get to climb, because your story is amazing. Unfortunately, you were in the military, correct, when you found out about losing your sight. First of all, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And second of all, tell me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so I was in the IDF, and I was a paratrooper, and while I was a paratrooper, found out that I had this very rare visual condition that brought me back to the States for some medical treatments and clinical trials. I started college after enrolling in a clinical trial, and that's where I met Elena's daughter, Danny, and the climb was a bit more of her husband Jay's idea than mine at the beginning, but we had done some skiing together and whatnot, and I was fortunate enough to maintain enough of my vision that I could still do these kinds of activities, and from there it was really a team effort.
So tell me, Eleanor, when you came on board, what was it that you wanted to show about climbing and Eitan and this whole situation?
So this film did not start out as a feature film.
Okay.
It started out with a call from Eitan, who wanted to make a public service announcement for a medical trial he was in.
Wow.
And he wanted to pay it forward because the trial was expanding from a smaller group to a much larger group. And he had had a very good experience in the trial and felt that it was helping to preserve his central vision. And he wanted other people to have access to the trial.
Absolutely.
And so it was really his idea to do a good deed. And we started filming, and it was COVID, and the hospital had problems with a film crew coming into the hospital. And right around that time, Eitan came over to our house and was talking with Jay about a climb that Jay had recently done.
Wow.
And he was just fascinated because Eitan is kind of an outdoor enthusiast, daredevil. And Eitan looked at him and said, "This is something you can do with your sight limitations."
Really?
And they started talking, and then that's how it became a climb. And then the climb became a metaphor of sorts. And interwoven into the film is a lot of information about RP, which is the eye disease that he has, and a lot of positive psychology about how to get past something bad when it happens to you.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, Eitan, because you could have really gone down a spiral. Obviously, you were an athletic person, paratrooper, that type of thing. And this could have been devastating for you, but instead you've turned it into a positive. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think I'd be lying if I were to say that it's all been a positive.
Right.
I certainly have had bad days, and I'm sure I'll have more, but I'm lucky enough to have a support system and have been support system and have been raised by a really amazing father who taught me that everyone has limitations, and it's about figuring out what's important to you and trying to live an engaging, meaningful, and fun life within those limitations.